Hi, Dad. Welcome back to another episode of David Andy's Honest About Life. How are you?
I'm doing well, Andy. Great to see you. Great to hear from you.
Great to see you as well. Thanks for spending some time with me again. Question for you today is if you had Bill Gates money, Elon Musk money, Jeff Bezos money, what would you invest in?
Well, that is great. That's a great question. Uh, right now, the way technology is just racing, it's just expanding like crazy. I guess I would invest in some type of tech, and it would probably be tech that ensures good health and um, and equality, I guess. Some kind of tech that makes good health available to equal numbers of people.
Do you ever think about, speaking of healthcare, do you think about the difference between Canadian healthcare and the U.S. healthcare system? Do you pay attention to that and think about what works better, what doesn't?
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't paid close attention to that, and I'm part of Medicare. I'm old, and so far the system has treated me well. So I can't badmouth our system. I know it's very expensive. That's the only bad part of it. The price has gone crazy, and big pharma, and I'm not going to badmouth them either, but they save millions and millions of lives, but it sure is expensive.
I know that sometimes the way that we perceive certain programs or initiatives is based on our political beliefs, what side of the aisle we sit on. So you think about in my lifetime, a significant update to healthcare was Obamacare. What is it called other than Obamacare? It was called, what is it, like equal? I forget what it is.
Yeah, I forget what that name was too, but
right.
Everybody called it Obamacare.
I think initially people you were either sort of all in, you're for it, or you're completely against it. And uh, if you were against it, chances are, I mean, you probably had some really strong feelings about why you were against it, but it also was probably politically driven, if I could say that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Politics played and still are playing a huge part in it, and I don't know how to get that out of it. I don't think you can separate the two. Wish you could, kind of, but I think as long as the end goal for everyone, and I don't know if this is true, but the end goal is equal healthcare for everyone, and that's just my feeling. I think it should be a thing, a standard, and I don't know how you can take politics out of that.
How do you reconcile this whole providing adequate health care for the poor, and then we're asking the wealthy to help fund that effort. I mean, that's what I'm hearing when I'm thinking about how to spread out healthcare evenly to everybody. And obviously it's never going to be even, but how do we rationalize, how do we handle that and somehow reduce this difference in disparity, right? The haves and the have-nots, the wealthy 1% or whatever it is, and everybody else. I mean, how do you see this thing straightening itself out?
Yeah, I think we have to separate a lot of other stuff. I don't know what they call pork belly or whatever they call all the stuff that gets attached to a lot of these very big spendy things that get passed, bills. And if we can separate all the other crap out and assure everyone equal health care, whether you be poor or rich, but all that other stuff that gets attached for, and I love education, but it seems like a lot of other things get attached to something that our end goal, as I see it, is equal good health care for everyone.
So you think I guess I think of it as pet projects, for
Yep, yep,
oh,
special interests. There's so many special interests out there that try to attach, oh, I want some of that money. And that's never going to go away. It's unfortunately never going to go away. So that makes it very difficult to get honesty and to get equality out of this stuff, because there's so many other people trying to put their fingers in and grab here and there that it just gets out of control. And
so we just obviously what's in the news nowadays is the debt ceiling talks. They're trying to get this thing done. They're going to vote for it in the House this evening. They're trying to get it done before June 5th because they insist that that's when we run out of money. That whole thing is just obviously it's hard to wrap your head around when you look at how much debt the U.S. is in.
trillions of dollars,
32 trillion or whatever it is today.
yeah.
You think about how there are some that insist the U.S. is going to go bankrupt. I mean, the next question is where would you go if things really got ugly here in the U.S.? Like, what would we do?
Well, yeah, I'd hate to bail on the U.S. because I love our country. I love our country. My dad, served in World War II to keep our country free, and to let us have all of our freedoms, all of our military. I love them all. I mean, they've kept us safe and they've kept us free. That we've got to continue. We've got to keep freedom our priority.
Yes, and obviously not just on Memorial Day, which was just this past Monday, but I know you're the same way. You take the time to recognize servicemen and women every chance you get, not just on Memorial Day.
Yeah, I love them. I love everyone that has served to keep our freedoms, and I get to share in that freedom that I didn't serve. I would have. I came very close, but they canceled the draft right before right my 18th birthday. Wow. So that's when I graduated high school.
Yeah.
No, I would have served in a second, but I so appreciate all those that have served and are serving now to keep us free.
I appreciate you mentioning that. So, you come back to healthcare, and the quality of healthcare outside of the U.S. Yet another reason to not want to leave.
Right. I don't know that I want to ever leave this country because it always looks greener on the other side. But man, everybody else has problems too, and at least we have a say when we go to the voting, booth. We have a say in what goes on here. Some countries, the people don't.
Right.
And that's something we have to cherish and really hold tight and not let go of.
I agree with you there. There's all these other initiatives too, like the quality of food that we get, that making it more accessible to everyone. And what's sad in my opinion is that the types of food that are available to the poor are not the most nutritious. They're not the healthiest of foods. So they end up eating foods that are cheap, that are inexpensive but low in quality, if you follow me. And we need to get to a point where healthy, high quality foods are available to everyone.
Right.
And I know that there's a lot of people trying to do that, right? Farm to table. There's all these green initiatives. There's all kinds of things that people are doing, but until we get that sorted out, boy, we're going to struggle. And there's always going to be this divided population that it seems to be getting worse. And I suppose in your lifetime you've seen it get worse. The difference between the poor and the wealthy.
Yeah, that division has grown huge, and and unfortunately, we're seeing poverty in some of our largest cities across this country, and I don't know that they're handling it. Most cities aren't handling it very well, and I don't know what the answer is. So I can't say that I would do it better, but I just know that issue is going to be something that's growing. And I think you hit it on the head when we have to offer some of those good foods, good quality, healthy foods to everyone and not just the rich.
Right. Well, thank you, Dad, for talking through that with me, and these big, heavy issues that we're dealing with. And I know it's just you and I talking, but hopefully we'll have an impact and get people thinking. So I
I
appreciate
hope
you.
so. I
Thank
appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, Andy. You're thought provoking.
Well.
And you always ask these questions that are, I feel like I'm walking on a razor blade.
Well, it's good to see you, Dad. Thank you so much. And
Love you, buddy.
love you, Dad. See you
See
later.
ya. See ya.